From commercial. You have to do that. It's 7:42. Welcome back. It's a great day for this Friday, 27th of March. We welcome Tom Henricksen to the studio with us. And thank you for being here as you're going to attempt to explain to us how we can crack the career code.
Finally.
Yes.
So, at long last.
Tell us what this is all about.
Well, this book is about working with people. I've done some career coaching. And I found what I think people who have successful careers have. And there's the 3 P's that I talk about in the book. The first one is passion. You have to have passion. And as you guys, talking on TV, you have to have passion. You enjoy people, like to talk to people like myself. And you also have to have the other P is performance. You have to be able to perform something successfully. And then the last one, which is very important, is profit. So you get the John Manziel.
Money has to come in here somewhere.
You have to move the needle, basically.
Yep. You have to provide some value.
Right.
And that's how you profit from your career. And profit can be, of course, getting a paycheck, but then there's other benefits from working in different industries.
Now, the passion aspect of this, is this, you're talking about everything that people do for a profession?
I think you have to find the overall part of your profession that you have passion for it. For instance, in the book, I talk about my sister-in-law. She is a children's librarian. She loves kids and works with them well, gets down on their level, and you can see, and you guys probably see this sometimes with people, you're like, wow, that person does really well. Like, for instance, you might go into a restaurant, and you might see a couple servers. You might see one that, you can tell they're just filling time.
Going through the motions.
Yeah, they might be doing it for some other reason, just to make a paycheck. But then you see other people that are really providing service, and they're really engaging with the customer, getting the people what they want. And so you kind of notice that difference where they have that passion. They really want to be there. And that's how they provide value. So I think that's that's one of the important things that I try to help people find what they really feel they provide value. So there's a lot of ways to do this. Of course, there's a lot of assessments that I talk about in the book, but then there's a lot of things, just to think about, what did you enjoy as a kid? For instance, a friend of mine, he really enjoyed baseball. And he wanted to get into sports, but that didn't work out for him. He actually went into broadcasting and worked in a small radio station in Spencer, Iowa. And now he moved down to ESPN
KCA or
1000, and I believe it's 1000, ESPN Radio in Dallas, and is now helping out with the Texas Ranger games.
How about that?
So found a roundabout way of fulfilling a passion of his.
Passion, yeah.
Is there one of those P's that you mentioned that you find most lacking in our society today?
It has to be passion is the thing that's lacking.
Passion is the biggest one that's lacking.
And that's one of the things that in the book, and this is a statistic that really jumped out at me. It's from a Gallup poll. 13% of people worldwide feel engaged in their work. 13% feel engaged. And it's one of those things like, wow, there's a lot of people walking around that don't have passion for what they do. They don't enjoy where they're at.
They're just doing a job.
Does that main one lead to the other 2 P's, do you think?
Yeah, I think, and I know there's a lot of research that backs this up, but when people find something they're passionate about, the money shows up. A lot of people think that sounds kind of corny, but one of the things in the book I talk about, there's a book by Thomas Stanley, The Millionaire Mind. And he did research to find on a series of millionaires. And what he found is those people were doing something they love. They weren't people that had high GPAs in school. They weren't people that were really high IQs, but they found something they enjoyed, and they created a business around it and channeled their passion and became wealthy because of it.
I think one of the biggest problems, in 2008, the economy died. Now, we've replaced a lot of jobs since then, but a lot of people are working jobs that pay less and aren't as fulfilling as the jobs they had before that happened. I mean, that seems to be happening a lot around the country. What advice would you give to someone who's watching who's just like, you know what, this job is killing me, I don't enjoy it?
Or maybe getting ready to graduate and it's like the job I'm looking for isn't there.
And that's one of the things that I try to help people, especially high school kids and college students and career changers, look for something that they're, what they're passionate about. But somebody like you're talking about, Jason, I think part of the thing is there's a bit of that's the attitude that people have. They feel that they're not where they need to be. And one of the things they need to do is they need to start looking up for other opportunities and prepare themselves. Obviously, you want to generate your own social media profile is very important, and people need to be on LinkedIn and network with people. I know you guys have probably heard of Danny Byer. You might have had him on the show here, but he's a networking guy, and he has a book about networking, and the networking area is so important to build your network and to build your career. I know in the book I talk a little bit about myself. I actually had a career misstep, if you will. I was shown the door at a company here that I was working, and because of my network, I was able to find a job fairly quickly. So it's one of those things you have to build your network before you need it.
You mentioned, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
You mentioned LinkedIn, and it seems to be useless 99% of the time, but when you're looking for a job, it does seem to have a lot of value.
Yeah, one of the things you want to be on there, though, before you need the job. You want to build your profile, if you will, so people know who you are and establish that before you need it, because it's kind of, it's like building a safety net or buying life insurance when you know you're going to die. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the career network before.
Are there certain components? Because if you go to LinkedIn, there's quite a few things you can input there. Are you saying make sure you have everything covered, or is there certain things that you want to have established?
You obviously want to establish your profile, but you can get involved in a lot of the groups there and find people in your area or people outside of your area that do something similar to what you do. So for instance, being a career coach, I'm in various groups on LinkedIn for career coaches and speakers, things like that. So you can go on LinkedIn and find groups to help you develop your brand and develop what you want to do.
So if you get complacent, if you get stuck, even if you're doing something that you're passionate about, a lot of times we can just get stuck because we get used to doing the same thing every day. Is there some way to ignite that, or is that just making sure you're prepared for things that come your way?
Part of the thing to ignite that is to kind of be open to new opportunities. I know a lot of times as you go through your career path, you get kind of stuck and you do the same thing.
Yeah.
One thing that's really helpful is to find a couple different things outside of your normal routine to try new things. I know that you guys have probably heard the familiar quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, do one thing a day that scares you. So that's one of the things that's important for people, to find something different, kind of challenge them and open them. You might be even trying some new food or going to a new place or maybe some travel or an event that you wouldn't normally go, and kind of open up your ideas to what new things are out there. So you're not in a stale mindset. So
all right, so passion, performance, and profit. That's what the 3 Ps that you're talking about. All right, now you're going to be at a book signing coming up tomorrow. Tell everybody what's going on.
Yep, I'll be at the Half Price Books at the West Ridge Shopping Center tomorrow from 1 to 3. So come out and see me.
Wonderful. And if people want to check out your book, do they need to go to a website, or where can they pick it up?
CrackingTheCareerCode.com. So is where we're at online. So, and it's on Amazon as well and Kindle, and I have a physical book as well.
Nice.
And it looks like a quick read too. So
yep, it's about 100 pages. It's perfect for, especially for kids who are wanting to go to college. A great graduation gift.
Yes,
for
Yeah,
kids.
how many times do people decide they're going to go to college and they get halfway through college and they still don't have a career path?
Exactly.
Out? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, because you hear that a lot about people that go through school. I hear that a lot about, especially people who go through education. They'll get to the last year, they'll do student teaching and think, oh my goodness, I can't spend a whole day with kids. So it's one of those things that you want to. And that's what I talk about in the book, is to test out your career beforehand. You want to test drive it with something like an internship or doing a job shadow. It's really helpful.
There you
go. Tom, thank you, sir, very much.
Nice
Appreciate
to meet you. Thank you.
Help you crack the career code. 10 minutes before 8 o'clock, we'll be right back. You're watching Great Day live on KCW.